Welcome, and thank you all for joining us today in this Google Cloud Next session. I'm Mark Shalda. I'm a product manager here at Google on Contact Center AI, and I'm joined today by Dinesh from TELUS. Dinesh, do you want to introduce yourself?
Thanks so much, Mark. Excited to be here. Dinesh Mahtani, I lead the digital data analytics team.
Great, thanks so much, Dinesh. We'll be talking to him soon about his use case with TELUS and how they've been using Insights. Today, we're going to talk about CCAI Insights and how it can better help you understand your customers and help improve your business overall. So let's jump into it. First, let's talk about what we're going to be discussing today. So we're going to go over a quick overview of Contact Center AI. We're going to discuss both what the rest of the Contact Center AI product suite looks like, as well as what Insights focused on. We're going to dive into the features of Insights and talk about some of the use cases our customers are using Insights for. Then we'll go jump into a demo from one of our developer advocates. We'll then talk about the work that TELUS is doing and some of our other customers that are already using conversational AI. Last, we will wrap up with some of the integrations we have and the partnerships we've made to make sure that Contact Center AI Insights is as easy as possible to implement. So let's start with the overview. What is Contact Center AI? Contact Center AI is all about taking Google's advanced AI and ML capabilities and helping to plug in those into contact centers to ensure your customers are having the best experience possible with your brand. At the core of this is Google's ability to understand natural language, decipher exactly what your customers are saying so that you can help automate, assist, and provide insight in your contact center. To do this, Google has taken all of that effort to create great natural language capabilities and created products that are specific around helping the contact center. The first of these products is Dialogflow, which helps to bring automation to the contact center by enabling chat and voice bot building with an easy-to-use interface for creating powerful ML intent recognition and classification. With this power, your chatbot or IVR will be able to actually understand your customer's intent, allowing it to start solving problems for your customers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, without the need to wait on hold. However, for many businesses, not everything a customer may call about can be automated, and some customers may still want to speak to someone. In those cases, Agent Assist is a product that can help to supercharge your agents and make them as effective as possible by listening into the conversation and providing the agent real-time information to help them out. This helps to improve the agent's ability to handle the conversations quickly and accurately, leading to reduced call time and increased customer satisfaction. But what we're here to talk about today is what happens after the conversation finishes, which is where Contact Center AI Insights comes in. Contact Center AI Insights focuses on how do we take all the data we are collecting from these interactions with our customers and start to make sense of them. How do we provide analytical value from our data in a consistent, scalable, economical way that can power the answers to business questions that were impossible to tackle before? How do we start ensuring that our business decisions are data driven? And that's what Insights is all about. It's about enabling your contact center management team to help hear what your customers are saying so that you can make those data driven business decisions and increase operational efficiency. But let's break that statement down a little bit. First, it's hearing what our customers are saying. This is all about ensuring we actually understand what our customers truly needed from our business. Why were they contacting us? And breaking down to data that can be organized and made useful. Second, once we have that data in an organized and useful manner, it's about how do we turn that data into a business decision that can actually improve our business. We don't just want data for the sake of data. We want data that can help direct us towards making our business better, whether that be by reducing churn, increasing our sales, or saving time within our organization. Being able to make those decisions and have the confidence that they will work because they're backed by data is important. Lastly, there's the contact center management team. There's a lot more than just one person in this group. There's a number of stakeholders in your contact center management team. QA analysts and contact center managers, these are the people that actually work with your agents on the floor. Business analysts who are focused on answering questions around contact center data today. Conversational architects who are building Dialogflow agents or your IVR or other parts of your contact center business. Operation teams who are making sure day to day that your operations are intact and running smoothly. And business leaders, PMs, product managers, sales managers, marketing teams, other parts of your business who are focused on other things today, but when they're able to take the data in from your contact centers, could improve how they work, make themselves more efficient. So now that we understand a bit about what contact center AI is and how Insights is specifically building towards to help you out, let's discuss some of the features that we're launching with Insights in the next coming weeks so that we can understand how we're going to make that vision a reality for your business. First, topic modeling. It's all about taking your conversational data and organizing it into the various topics that your customers are reaching out to you about in your contact center. Contact center teams know it is imperative to understand, why are my customers reaching out to my business? It's the start of nearly all analysis for your contact center data today. However, that data today is hard to capture in a comprehensive, consistent, and accurate way. Today, businesses have a few different choices on how to do that. Number one, they could ask their agents, and they ask their agents after each call to annotate what was the topic of that conversation, what was the person talking about, and why were they calling. This is usually largely inaccurate, and part of the reason is because agents are pressed for time. They want to get on to the next chat. They want to get on to the next call. The second option is to have your highly skilled analyst listen or read transcripts and try to go back and determine what was the conversation about. This gives you a really small view. It's usually pretty accurate, but it gives you a very small view. And it's a person who probably would rather be actually driving business value as opposed to re-looking at old data. The third way is that you could use some keyword rules. So you could set up rules to associate keywords and topics, but this is a rigid, not flexible way of looking at the world. And while this can be useful data, it's not the only way and not the best way to find out what the topics are about. And that's where topic modeling can help. It's really about, how do we create a custom model around your data with no data labeling needed, no upfront investment. It can really help you to break down your conversations and group them into buckets of topics that are actually present in the data that you give us, and provide a model that can then free up your agents and analysts to no longer need to provide topics, instead give you a consistent view of what your customers are looking for. Topic modeling focuses on how do we understand the conversation as a whole, but on the other hand, conversational analysis is about taking the individual utterances of a conversation and understanding them better. This means breaking down the conversation and enriching it with annotations that will help to search, filter, and find the data that is useful to answer your high-value business questions. Insights looks at each utterance and provides annotations around the caller and agent's sentiment. We extract common entities like places and organizations, and we even provide exactly how the person's sentiment for that specific entity was. Insights also identifies silence and interruptions in your voice conversations. Beyond this, Insights also provides highlights for your conversations. Highlighting is a feature that identifies areas of a conversation using a combination of natural language, phrasing, keyword matching, and rules to find and annotate what your team is looking for. Google provides a handful of these highlighters out of the box, highlighting the parts of your conversation where the agent authenticated the user, or the customer confirmed that the issue was resolved. However, you can also customly build these with our Insights provide an easy to use tool to build your own highlighters. This allows your team the freedom to identify what you want to find from your customers' conversations. Allowing this data to be found automatically can free up your analyst, automate your downstream processes, and ensure that nothing goes uncaptured from the data. So how are people putting these features to use today to solve business problems? So the three use cases we've seen at customers today and we're already working to implement are around, number one, being able to automatically do conversation classification. So basically taking our feature on topic modeling and replacing some of the need to have agents do this themselves or have analysts do this after the fact. This is really ensuring that customers get a good, consistent view of what customers are calling them about and understand all that's happening within their contact center. This helps to drive those investments across the contact center. Where are we struggling? Where are the biggest problems? Which calls are taking us the longest? Or which chats are taking our agents spending the most turns on? And really can understand and really drive business value in itself. The second is around ranking conversations for QA and compliance review. So today, a lot of QA and compliance review teams may randomly select conversations or have some other way of quickly finding which conversations you're going to look at. But this doesn't give you a good view of everything. And what an analyst or a compliance person is looking for is actually, where was there a problem? Where can I find a coaching opportunity to make my agents better? Or where can I find a breach of compliance to make sure that we don't have any sort of regulatory risk? And this is where Insights, coupled with things like highlighters, can help you identify those areas of the conversation, give you 100% coverage, and actually start to surface, what are the conversations I should be looking at? How do I find that needle in the haystack? And lastly, jumpstarting the dialogue flow agent creation. Dialogue Flow is a super easy tool for customers to build their own build their chat bots and voice bots. But if you don't know where to invest and where to start building those, where is your biggest problems, it can be hard. If you don't know what an example conversation looks like when somebody wants to schedule a new appointment or make a new online payment, that can be tough. And this is where Insights can help classify those break down the types of things customers are saying in those cases and help you drive that dialogue flow agent creation quicker. So now let's step into a quick demo of the product given by one of our developer advocates, Lee Boonstra.
Let's get started by using CCAI Insights. First, enable the Insights API. You will find a link on the Conversational Hub page when you start Insights for the first time. This will take a few seconds before you can get started. For importing, you will also need to enable the speech-to-text and Google Cloud Storage APIs. The first thing you will have to do is to import the conversations to your CCAI Insights. In a production environment, you will likely have Insights integrated with your virtual agent and contact center system that pushes the conversations via the API in real time to Insights. However, it's also possible to import existing datasets manually. Your conversation will need a specific JSON format, which defines the text, the timestamp, the user ID, and the role. Once the conversation is imported, you can dive into the conversation and press the Analyze button. This will analyze your conversation transcript and annotate the bits of the conversation, such as the locations, the persons, or the objects. Clicking on these entities will highlight the parts of the conversation where those entities were mentioned. An Insights topic model uses Google Natural Language Processing to generate primary topics for each conversation in your dataset. You can deploy the model to analyze future conversations as they're imported. To train your own model with a good accuracy, you will need a minimum of 10,000 conversations. And then you can start the training. Smart Highlights automatically detect highlights through keywords and/or phrases in your conversation without requiring additional configuration. Smart Highlights draws from various possible scenarios to detect highlights, such as asking to hold, ensuring that an issue was resolved, a complaint, and much more. As you have seen in this demo, Insights enables businesses to hear what customers are saying to make data-driven business decisions and increase operational efficiency.
Great. Thanks, Lee. That was awesome. Thank you so much for walking us through the product. Really appreciate it. Now let's talk about some of our customers. So Insights is a new product coming to GA soon, but conversational AI Google Cloud has already been brought to market in the form of Dialogflow, Agent Assist, and our speech products as well. And they've been successful with many customers spanning multiple industries such as retail, financial services, healthcare, travel, public sector, and telecommunications. These are just some of the customers that we've been successful with today and have already driven business value from those products. Some of these customers, though, are already using Insights and have been working with us to help us ensure that our product is the best and ready for launch so that we can make sure we're meeting your customer needs and making sure that it will fit your business. One of those customers, TELUS, is joining us today, and that's what Dinesh is going to talk about, is the journey that Insights has had with this team. Dinesh, over to you.
Thanks so much, Mark. Excited to be here. Dinesh Mahtani, I lead the digital data analytics practice at TELUS, and excited to talk to you about how CCAI is helping us deliver value to our customers and to the business. Let me talk to you a little bit about TELUS first. TELUS is a Canadian communications provider. We serve wireless, data, TV, security, healthcare, and agriculture. And CCAI Insights and the partnership with Google is key for us to improve the experiences for our customers and our business as we mature in all of these areas. So let me talk to you about how we're using CCAI. First is to start off that today we serve about 20 million customer conversations a year. These are conversations where customers are calling us around looking to upgrade their device, or they're looking to change their rate plan, or looking to resolve an issue. Those are rich sources of data for us, but today we only have a proxy of information based on notes we collect from our agents. So imagine if we could transcribe every one of those voice calls into customer intents. We could take those intents and drive action for our customers. And that's what the flywheel on the right is demonstrating. Imagine we could take every call, transcribe it into a specific customer intent linked to a specific customer ID, and then drive a targeted action for that customer. And that's how we're using CCAI Insights. So CCAI Insights will deliver what we call a TELUS voice call analytics. What we will get as an output is a transcribed set of customer intents in BigQuery. And from BigQuery, we will be able to drive multiple commercial outcomes for the business, starting with digital personalization use cases, which I'm going to talk you through, as well as driving value contact center as well. So let's talk about digital. So my role in digital is with very rich data sets in TELUS. We're actively using those data sets to drive machine learning, and then using those machine learning outputs to drive very targeted communications for our customers. So when a customer lands on TELUS.com, we'll use the rich information that we have of our customers to be very personalized and targeted to what our customer actually needs. And we do this today through collecting data in Google Cloud Platform, driving insights through predictions, triggers, modeling that we do with machine learning. And the outcome of all of that is a targeted experience that we show to our customers, whether that's on the My TELUS app or on TELUS.com. Voice call analytics will add to the data sets that we're mining and provide us a very, very rich source of customer intents and allow us to be even more precise, even more tailored to what our customers are actually looking for when they visit our sites. For our contact center, CCAI also unlocks tremendous value. So today we choose to listen to specific sets of calls, mine those calls. The scale of our ability to do that is limited by manual processes today. Automating these processes allows us to use advanced modeling to really understand what our customers are calling us about, really understand the customer journey that resulted in the contact that we're having for our customers, so we can better optimize those journeys. And then actionable data that allows us to take actions to improve those conversations, improve the coaching that we give our agents through the data we collect. And all of that is used to drive value in our contact center. So we will see operational efficiency improvements, customer effort reduction, as well as revenue uplift as a result of understanding our contact center operations better. And then just final is just to give you a sense of the scale that we're driving. So 20 million voice calls a year. We are this year looking to drive $2.3 million in agent reduction through voice call analytics and 72 hours of customer effort reduction through the program initially. So that's how we're using CCAI Insights at TELUS. I'm going to hand it back to Mark to talk about integrations.
Thanks so much, Dinesh. That's super exciting to hear about all the work you're doing with your team, and it's exciting to see the. And as Dinesh said, we'll talk about integrations. And so, Insights focuses on ensuring that we have a great experience with our product, but it also works hard to ensure that it uses the rest of the CCI and Google Cloud ecosystem to bring the best of our entire offering to customers. And that includes things like having a local block, so having the ability to just automatically have out-of-the-box visualization of the data that we can export. Being able to have these visualizations helps customers drive business value immediately, but also helps them understand where they can produce value, right? So where they can start to drive more value from those local blocks. The second is around our integration with Cloud Data Fusion, Google's no-code way of building robust pipelines to ingest and move data around. Having an out-of-the-box accelerator with Cloud Data Fusion allows customers to build quick ingestion and export pipelines that can be scalable, they can be scheduled, they can be set up to be very robust, and they can move their data in and out of Insights as needed. And lastly, our integration with the rest of the product suite. So we talked about Dialogflow and Agent Assist previously. Being able to have that data automatically get sent to Insights as a customer wants means that there's no effort needed when you're already using those other products. And what this also means is if you're using a CCI telephony partner like Avaya, Mitel, Genesis, Cisco, or Twilio, the data sent from those partners can automatically get sent to the Insights. But next is partnerships. So beyond insights and our integrations, we understand that companies are unique, sometimes complicated. We understand that your journey may not start or end in Google Cloud, and that insights data may be only one piece of the puzzle for a bigger journey that your company is on. That's why it's important to have great partners like those listed here. We work closely with these partners to make sure they're really well versed in insights and have the training needed to ensure your team is able to create a painless onboarding with maximum effectiveness from your data. So if you want to learn more about CCAI Insights, please visit us at cloud.google.com/solution/CCAI-insights. You'll find all the documentation and onboarding information you need to get started. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your next 2021 experience. Thank you.